Every family has their own traditions that they follow, but their traditions probably don't come close to the rules the royal family has to follow. They've passed down their traditions for centuries, from generation to generation. Just wait until you hear the interesting rituals that take place during royal dinners. Let's just say, you better not be a super slow eater, or you might offend the Queen. Keep watching this video to find out more. If this is your first time visiting our channel, don't forget to subscribe, and please give this video a big thumbs up. Today we'll be showing you 20 rules all royal family members need to follow from birth. No monopoly. Some families love to spend time together and bond by playing a board game, like the real estate-themed game Monopoly. Since 1935, people from far and wide have been passing go and collecting $200 with this classic game. Everyone except for the royal family, that is. In 2008, the Leeds Building Society gave Prince Andrew, Duke of York, the game as a gift, but he admitted that the royals weren't allowed to play it because the competition would get too vicious. We have to say, they're definitely missing out on some fun. Gender reveal. Some couples can't wait to announce the gender of their unborn baby to their family and friends, but gender reveals are done a bit differently in the royal family. Parents are actually forbidden from announcing the gender of the baby until it's born. This turns the pregnancy into a fun event where the public can make bets and guesses on whether the mom will have a boy or a girl. There's a chance this long-standing tradition might change in the next few years, but for now, the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge have continued to stick with this tradition throughout their multiple pregnancies. Hands off. When visitors from other countries meet a member of the royal family, it can be a truly nerve-wracking experience. Because there are so many etiquette rules to abide by, many visitors have accidentally broken a bunch of these traditions and customs. Most people aren't aware that there's a strict no-touching rule when it comes to the royals. This rule dates back to medieval times when monarchs were considered gods, and therefore, they were to remain untouched.
Whoa, no touchy! No touchy! No touch.
In 2009, former United States First Lady Michelle Obama shocked the entire world when she and the Queen embraced each other. While the Brits were ticked off by Michelle getting a bit too handy, judging by this picture, it looks like the Queen was really digging the PDA. NBA player LeBron James made a similar mistake when he wrapped his sweaty arm around Kate Middleton's shoulder. In this photo, you can see the awkward expression on Kate's face. It's pretty clear some royals are okay with being touched, while others aren't. To play it safe, we'll just stick with the hands-off rule if we ever come in contact with someone from this family. Sit like a royal. Women in the royal family aren't allowed to just plop down on a chair however they want. They must sit in a very particular way. All you have to do is pull up photos of Kate Middleton and Princess Diana to see how a royal lady is supposed to sit. Women aren't allowed to cross their legs at the knees. Instead, their legs must be kept together and they can cross them at the ankles if they wish. Leaning their body to the side, known as the Duchess slant, also ensures perfect posture and makes their legs appear longer. Morbid outfit. When traveling, the royal family must pack very specific clothes. When it comes to the children, Prince George must have at least 5 pairs of shorts of various colors in his luggage. Princess Charlotte must have at least 10 barrettes, and the Duchess must have at least 2 pairs of beige pumps. And lastly, each member of the royal family must pack an all-black morning outfit just in case a relative passes away while they're away from home. This ensures that when they return to the UK and step off of the plane, they'll already be dressed in a respectable and somber outfit to pay their respects. 2 kids. Royal couples are welcome to have 3 or 4 kids, but traditionally, members of this family tend to have no less than 2 children. The Duke and Duchess of Cambridge have broken this tradition by having 3 kids of their own, but no one seemed to mind. In fact, Queen Elizabeth and members of both families have said to be delighted by the news that the couple was having a 3rd bundle of joy. We think it would be awesome if they expanded their family even further by having 4, 5, or even 6 kids in the near future. Don't turn your back. Whenever someone comes in contact with the Queen, they're instructed to never turn their back to her. It can be seen as a sign of rudeness and disrespect, so everyone must ensure they're always facing her or standing off to the side of her at all times. When former US President Barack Obama and First Lady Michelle paid her a visit, they were briefed on all of the royal rules, so they made sure to have their backs to the cameras multiple times in order to talk to the Queen, and they only turned forward to face the media when it was time to take photos. Breastfeeding. Most royal children have been breastfed, but the family has gotten rid of a long tradition of having wet nurses. A wet nurse is a woman who breastfeeds on behalf of the mother, and in the past, the royal family employed many lactating women to get the job done. The women who were hired had to at least be of good character and have a healthy appearance in order to be chosen to breastfeed the royal offspring. In later years, Princess Diana broke this tradition by insisting on nursing William and Harry herself. Special order. The next time the royal family pops up on your television screen, pay close attention to the way they walk and where they're seated. A lot of people don't realize that the family must all walk and sit in a very special order. They line up in accordance to who's next in line to the throne. The official order goes like this. Queen Elizabeth II is first, and her husband, Prince Philip, is always right behind her. Then comes Prince Charles and his wife, Camilla. Prince William is up next, followed by the Duchess, and so on. You will never see them pictured out of this order at formal events. Follow the Queen. During grand dinners, everyone must follow the behavior of the Queen. Tea and snacks are usually on the menu, and tradition states that once the Queen takes her very last bite, everyone else must stop eating as well. And when she stands, everyone must follow suit. This could turn into a problem if a royal family member is a really slow eater, but if they take another bite of food after the Queen is all finished with her plate, they might come across as rude and impolite. Dinner chats. Speaking out of turn is looked down upon when you're dining with the Queen, and this is something Formula One racer Lewis Hamilton found out the hard way. When it's time to feast, the guest of honor usually sits to the right of the Queen, and she speaks to that person during the first course of the dinner. Then she speaks to the person on her left during the second course. Lewis wasn't aware of this royal rule, so he began chatting it up when he wasn't supposed to be speaking to her. Someone actually had to politely tell him that it wasn't his turn to chat. How embarrassing. Baptism outfit. Whenever a new baby is baptized by the head of the English church, they wear a very specific outfit. The same flowy lace and satin dress has been used in royal baptisms since 1841. Considering it has been around for so long, it's no surprise that it began to wither away as the years passed by. In 2015, Queen Elizabeth II hired a dressmaker to create an exact duplicate of the traditional dress just in time for Princess Charlotte's baptism. So although it wasn't the exact dress that had been worn by over 60 different royal babies, it was pretty much an exact copy. Potty break. You never know when nature might call.
Now, where does he think he's going? When you gotta go, you gotta go.
But if the royals need to use the potty during a meal or any other event, they're expected to do so in the proper way. You'll never hear a royal shout out, "Hey, I need to take a tinkle." Instead, they're expected to simply say, "Excuse me," and quietly walk to the restroom. If they're excusing themselves during the middle of a meal, they're expected to cross their utensils on their plate so that the wait staff knows that they're not finished eating. Royal handshake. There's a very specific way royals are taught to shake hands. To start, they must make direct eye contact with the person in front of them as they firmly grasp their hand. Then they shake their hand once or twice, but they never ever shake more than twice. Then they're supposed to flash their beautiful royal smile. This tradition is something that anyone can implement into their lives. The next time you meet someone new, give them a royal handshake and pretend like you're a part of this prestigious family. Cloth diapers. For centuries, all royal babies wore fabric diapers that were washed and reused over and over again. But some royal mothers moved away from that tradition in later years. Princess Diana was the first to break many royal traditions, including the use of cloth nappies. She also refused to give birth at home and gave birth to her sons, William and Harry, in a hospital instead. Prince William is also known as the first royal baby to wear disposable diapers instead of the cloth ones. Nanny duties. If you've ever dreamed of being a royal babysitter, you'll need to be highly qualified to even be considered for the job. The royal family doesn't take to hiring process lightly, and they make sure everyone who's a part of the royal household is the perfect fit. To maintain the family's tradition, the nanny must be skilled in how to effectively communicate, and it's also helpful if they have some type of background in martial arts. You know, just in case they need to whoop some butt to protect the royal baby. The Duke and Duchess of Cambridge hired a nanny named Maria who was skilled in Taekwondo. She also underwent training on how to dodge the paparazzi with a vehicle and how to drive in various weather conditions. Curtsey. When meeting with the Queen, men and women must greet her in a very traditional and formal way. For men, they bow their necks from the head only. As for the women, they're supposed to give a small curtsey. The longer they hold the curtsey, the more respectful it comes across. In this picture, you can see the Duke and Duchess happily greeting the Queen in the respectful and traditional way. For those who aren't British, they can also greet her by these traditional gestures, but it's not expected if the Queen isn't your head of state. Wedding bouquet. Even a royal bride's wedding bouquet has to stick to the traditions and customs of the royal family. All wedding bouquets must contain the myrtle flower, which is taken from a tree that's grown in Queen Victoria's 170-year-old garden. Each bouquet, including the Duchess of Cambridge's bouquet from her 2011 wedding, has contained at least a sprig of myrtle. This flower is a sign of luck and happiness in a marriage, and it's also considered a symbol of love. During the next royal wedding, pay close attention to the bride's bouquet. We guarantee there will be a sprig of myrtle in there somewhere. Kids' clothing. There's a reason why you never see Prince George in a pair of pants. His parents are dressing him the same way all royal babies have dressed before him. Tradition calls for only adults to wear pants and trousers, so even if it's freezing cold outside, George will always have his adorable little shorts on. He'll be expected to dress in this manner up until he reaches the age of 8, and that's when he'll officially be allowed to wear trousers. His father William also wore shorts in the early years of his life. 4 names. And lastly, all royal babies are given either 3 or 4 names. Prince William's official name is William Arthur Philip Louis, and Prince Harry's real name is Henry Charles Albert David. Some may be surprised to know that the royals don't have an official last name. If a last name is required, such as when Prince George was enrolled into school, their title can be used in that place instead. So for example, Prince George uses the last name of Cambridge when he attends school. Pretty fascinating, isn't it? Let us know which of these royal rules shocked you the most. The most original reply will get pinned to our channel. Be sure to subscribe so you can be notified when we upload a brand new video. See you next time!